What do you see? What do you see? Oh my gosh, is it scary? You scared?
Built upon the shoulders of the Constitution, rule of law, and the animating principle that we are all created equal. I need to hear her hallelujah. Though I am not considered a believer by some, I still believe in the warmth of heaven come. I need the rapture I feel when my feet touch the green, green grass of home. I need to hear a hallelujah as we tear down the wall in the divide between heaven and earth as tears turn to mirth. As we walk through the valley of death and I draw my last breath, I know a rapture I feel when I touch the green, green grass of home. And I know I have reached the hollow where my ancestors roam. And when I reach that valley, I need to see you there, because we don't need a kingdom, we only need free air. And we don't seek a king, we seek the brotherhood of man. And we won't fight for bondage, as we need no king or woman. We will stand undivided, because we will raise the fallen.
Y'all, today we could say the market is not a prophet. I spent a career in the United States Navy keeping people alive. As an independent duty corpsman, you learn fast that you don't take the wound away. So we know that the wounds you can't see, those are the ones that we have to worry about. Those are the ones that you don't just get to wish away. You read what's actually in front of you, you tell the truth about it, and you act. Now, y'all, with the Fleet Marine Force, the truth on the ground was the only thing that kept Marines breathing. Out in the surface ship, the same rule held true. The sea, it does not care about your opinion of it. So when I watch people treat a betting line as if it were the truth about an American election, every instinct that I trained for 30 years lights up. That's not a forecast. That's a wound being called something it isn't. Today, we read what is actually right in front of us. The long odds. Welcome back to the long odds. That's what we're calling it today, in addition to our Champions of Freedom time. I'm your host. This is the Hillbilly Think Tank with Spencer Keck. I'm the educated hillbilly. No, that's not an oxymoron. Don't call me a moron. There have been educated, erudite, and emancipated hillbillies in these hills ever since my ancestors came through that Cumberland Gap of Daniel Boone. Now, y'all, I am running for magistrate here in Hardin County's District 3. But again, like I said, I'm a retired Navy corpsman. I'm a current public school teacher right here in Kentucky. And I want to tell you why I do this show. Because it's the same reason I served and the same reason that I teach. I took an oath to the Constitution. Not to a party, not to a personality, not to a price on a screen. That oath, it doesn't expire when you take that uniform off. And I want to tell you that that uniform and that oath, they still define veterans in this county. Now, the pillars I stand on, they're very simple. The Constitution and the rule of law. Those are our heartbeat. The inalienable equality of every single person, well, that's the bedrock, y'all. And the promise of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness for all, not just for whoever can afford the best seat at the table. 3 words, they animate all of this: Constitution, equality, liberty. Hold those pillars in your mind right now, because today's subject tastes and tests every one of them. Today, we talk about people trying to use prediction markets, Kalshi, Polymarket, and the rest, not just to gamble, but to override the verdict of the American voter. Which leads us to our first segment: what a market price actually is. Now, we all are hearing a lot about this predictive market. Seems to be all anybody's talking about these days. But let's take a look at what it actually is doing to the United States of America.
markets are the new way to bet on wars, elections, natural disasters, and more. But as they continue to grow, here's how they're causing controversy. So firstly, let's talk about some of the markets these sites are running. Just last year, Polymarket offered bets on how many acres the California wildfires would burn by, a disaster turning into a money-making opportunity. There's been offers elsewhere on markets.
Is that something that you think is ethical? It might be legal. Just because it's legal doesn't make it ethical or moral. Man, guys, I teach middle school now. Started off teaching high school. And this is something that I think even those kids could understand.
That predict the number of deportations Trump could make in 2026. You can't trade on extreme outcomes, things like assassinations or other high-profile deaths. But other trades do pose moral questions. And then there's
Wait, you can't trade on extreme outcomes? So how many humans are going to be thrown into cages? Or how many acres of land in the United States of America from sea to shining sea burn? That's not extreme outcome betting? Come on.
Also how fair it is. With the traditional bookies, betting with insider info gives punters an edge. In serious financial markets, it usually gives you a criminal record. But with prediction markets, the line is slightly blurry, where gamblers can, in theory, make money on information you don't know about yet. So how big of an issue could this be? Well, a few hours before the US announced the capture of Nicolas Maduro, a brand new Polymarket account took out thousands of dollars worth of bets that Maduro would be removed as the leader of Venezuela by the end of January, prompting concerns it was based on inside information. These bets paid out more than $400,000. We have almost no way of knowing who made them. It's because a significant amount of...
Well, yeah, we do know. We've reported on it right here on this channel before. We've talked about it. But, all right, Kentucky is deciding that maybe it should do something about this. We'll get to that here in just a second.
Prediction market bets are placed using cryptocurrency without names or bank account details, making it tricky to find out who's behind a trade. Some in the industry don't see this as a problem. Meet Shane Copland, the CEO of Polymarket.
People going and having an edge to the market is a good thing. Obviously, you need to curate them and you need to be really clear and stringent on where the line is drawn and like sort of ethics. And we spend a lot of time on that. But
ethics, schmethics to this guy. I mean, hey, I'm sure he's given so much money to our congressmen and women. He can act like insider trading is absolutely A-okay, y'all. We know better here in Kentucky. So let's, in a bit, we're going to come back to what Kentucky is doing. We'll roll some footage on that. But let's just start with what people get wrong. A prediction market price is not a measurement. It's an opinion weighted by money. And when a contract trades at 70 cents, that does not mean there's a 70% chance of the event. It means the last person willing to bet at that price thinks so. The price reflects beliefs, biases, and rumors, and sometimes just outright manipulation from people who mostly aren't even in the electorate that they're betting on. That's the difference between a forecast and a fact. A poll tries to measure what voters think. A vote count is what voters did. A prediction market is neither of those. It's a wager. And here's what should matter to anyone who took, the oath, who took that oath that I took and that many of the veterans in this county also took. The Constitution does not mention the betting line. It mentions we, the people. Elections are decided by breathing American voters, citizens standing in line, filling in a bubble, signing their name. That authority belongs to them and to them alone, no one else. So, when the market and the ballot box disagree, there's one right answer. The ballot box is the election. The market just lost money. So, segment 2, the market gets it wrong. So, look at the 2016 Brexit headlines. Then the LA skyline, LA mayoral primary 2026. These are 2 times that the markets got it wrong. But some people say, but the markets are so accurate. Are they? Let's read what's in front of us. Go back to 2016. Betting markets heavily favored Remain in Brexit. The week before, they put Leave at about 1 in 4. Leave won. The smart money was stunned, which the smart money does with remarkable regularity. But you don't have to cross an ocean. Look at the June 2026 Los Angeles mayoral primary. The real fight was for that second runoff spot. And the markets loved Spencer Pratt, the reality TV personality, to grab it. Kalshi traded his advance contract as high as 79%, y'all, in late May. CNBC, it reported him at roughly a 3 in 4 chance on election day. CNBC. Now, what happened? Pratt advance odds dropping 79 to 64 to 23 to 1%. Because then the votes got counted. As ballots came in, council member Nithya Raman pulled ahead of Pratt for second, behind Mayor Karen Bass. When it settled, Bass and Raman to November. Pratt eliminated. His Kalshi number fell from 79 to 64 to 23, down to about 1%, as real voter data arrived. Read that like a corpsman reads a chart, just like I did when I was in the hospital corps. The market didn't predict the outcome. It was wrong. And then it corrected once it was forced to face the voters of Los Angeles, California, and what they had actually done. That's not clairvoyance. That's a gambler revising his bet after the game already changed. So now, segment 3, turning a losing bet into fraud. Now, here's where this stops being about bad gambling and starts being about our democracy. When the markets got Los Angeles wrong, some people didn't accept that voters had spoken. They went looking for someone to blame. Pratt himself attacked how California ballots, and with no evidence, floated ugly insinuations about who those late votes belong to. And this is the part that should stop every one of us cold. NPR documented that the influence of influencers in paid partnerships with Kalshi and Polymarket, and how they pushed posts claiming California was cheating to push Pratt out. Posts that literally carried a paid partnership label. Sponsored content. Manufactured doubt. with a price tag. President Trump amplified the broader fraud claims about the Los Angeles race and the California primary. When he was pressed for the evidence in a network interview, the interview ended. His own appointed U.S. attorney posted there was evidence of election fraud in California, then had to walk back a specific claim that turned out to be untrue, a bald-faced lie. Now, 45 million, one trader, 2024 presidential market. Now see the machine being built. A prediction market can be moved. In 2024, a single French trader staked some $45 million and personally moved the presidential market. Researchers estimated as much as a third of that volume may have been artificial. So picture the full play. You push a price with money, you point at the price you created, and when the voters deliver something different, you cry fraud. And you've got paid influencers ready to amplify it. That is the threat. Not that markets are wrong, they're always sometimes wrong. The threat is someone using a wrong market on purpose to attack a legitimate election decided by real people. As a military man who took the oath, I'm going to say it plainly, y'all. This is an assault on the rule of law and on the equal voice of every single voter. Kalshi is a company. It exists to let people trade. It must never, ever become an instrument for overriding the verdict of breathing American voters. The day a price on a screen outranks a certified ballot is the day we hand our self-government to the casino floor and surrender the equality, the Declaration of Independence promised every single one of us. Now, that brings us to segment 4, why Kentucky got it right. And boy, I don't like to say it very often, but we're going to see that we got someone that's not in my party, but he got it right. And I'm going to give him credit for it. So let's watch a bit of the A roll here or the B roll, and we will see how our Attorney General, in my honest opinion, as someone who swore that oath that we're talking about, I believe this is our Attorney General getting it right.
Kentucky's Attorney General is weighing in on the growing debate over sports betting on prediction markets. Russell Coleman says the state has the authority to regulate those platforms. In a letter to the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, Coleman argues that wagers on game winners, point spreads, and player stats are no different than traditional sports betting, which Kentucky has regulated for decades. Coleman is urging the federal government to recognize Kentucky's role in protecting residents from the risks of sports gambling.
Well, y'all, like I said, not that I frequently like to admit it, but that is the absolute correct call. So, this brings it right here home to you and to me, to Kentucky, and a fight I am very proud of my state for picking, our state. This past April, the Kentucky General Assembly put a 14.25% excise tax on prediction market transaction fees. On June 12th, a coalition of Kalshi, Polymarket, and Crypto.com sued to block it. Just yesterday, y'all, calling it discriminatory and unconstitutional. They note it's higher than the 9.75% that we tax horse track wagers and warn higher fees push bettors to unregulated platforms. I'll give them their due. That's a real argument, and the constitutional questions, they belong to a court, not to me. But here's what I see. Taxing a thing isn't blessing it. It's making an industry help pay for the costs it puts on the rest of us. Our Attorney General, Russell Coleman, vowed to defend the law and called it an attempt by out-of-state companies to cancel Kentucky sport betting laws. That word betting is the whole ball game. These platforms want courts to think they're sober financial exchanges, not gambling. Kentucky looked and called it what it is, a wager, taxed like a wager. And the rot underneath is real. An Army Master Sergeant was charged with using classified information about a military operation to clear more than $400,000 on a prediction platform. A tech engineer was charged with using his company's confidential data to make over $1 million. Former Congressman George Santos is under scrutiny over his own bets. A market that rewards knowing what the public doesn't know is a market that rewards insiders, cheaters, and thieves, the opposite of the equal playing field a free people deserve. Now, y'all, we've got to think deeply and seriously about what this means for our democracy. Our democracy is too important to play with on the gambling market. Democracy is not a gamble, not in my book, because I'm here to tear down the walls that would separate any of us from freedom, from liberty, from life, from that pursuit of happiness. And this is what gambling does.
Deadly American strikes, and some people may have made money from them. On the online prediction platform Polymarket, a handful of bettors walked away with hundreds of thousands of dollars. The winners were either extremely lucky or extremely well informed. More than a dozen anonymous accounts placed bets predicting that the United States would strike Iran by Saturday, the 28th of February. Most of those wagers were placed in the hours before the first bombs fell, and many of the accounts had been created only days earlier, raising questions about whether the bets were simply lucky guesses or the result of insider information.
These wars meetings happen in the Situation Room, top secret, no phones, and this account's gonna come out of nowhere and make $500,000?
Government insiders are using your tax dollars to fund wars, which they then gamble on using insider information to make massive profits while bombs fall.
One of the biggest winners used the account name MAGA My Man. The trader placed $87,000 on a war with Iran exactly 71 minutes before the first strike, winning a jackpot worth $515,000. The controversy has drawn attention to Polymarket's political ties. Donald Trump's son, Donald Trump Jr., is a strategic advisor to the company and has also invested in the platform.
Well, who's surprised about that? You? Me? No. I've gone on ahead and I've reported this before, but now we know what I was reporting on just a week, two ago when I talked about this. This is the exact thing that they're doing. We saw this guy's face before earlier.
He's seen here alongside the CEO, who insists he's always been honest about his ties with the Trump administration.
right? I'm a young entrepreneur. If I have people who believe in what I do, who understand how politics works and can help guide me and teach me, there's nothing wrong about that.
Polymarket allows users to bet on
how politics works, meaning how American congressmen, presidents' sons, how they bamboozle us all and grift and do insider trading. So he's saying, hey, insider trading is the way politics is done in DC and elsewhere.
on almost anything from elections and the weather to celebrity pregnancies or major political events. But this isn't the first time the company has been involved in controversy. When Nicolas Maduro was captured in January, a handful of bets were placed. Lawmakers in Washington are now calling for tighter regulation, and some Democratic senators are calling for the platform to be shut.
Now? I mean, they're waiting until now to do this? They watched the Trump oldest sons making out like absolute bandits on this, and they're waiting till now. Wow. And everybody wonders why we have no trust in DC. Because we were told the swamp was going to be drained, but instead we handed it over to corporations like this.
Down completely.
Who are making decisions.
The White House has not commented on the controversy. The Polymarket platform is banned in France, but in the United States, the platform remains accessible, allowing users to bet on everything from ceasefire negotiations to the future of Iran's regime.
Oh, that's interesting. So I wonder, what could a good bet be maybe right now? We know. Just go look on find out. What is the Polymarket saying? Who's making money off of it? Who's going to lose money if they make the wrong bet? Because today is supposed to be the day we get a peace deal. That's what our Captain Bone Spurs is telling the whole world. So, what on earth are we going to do about it? Well, let's just look at what else is going on when you allow polymarkets and AI to get into politics.
Rid of all seeds in fruits and vegetables. And honestly, it's brilliant, because once every apple, grape, watermelon, and tomato is seedless, guess who controls life itself? No more planting your own food. No more saving seeds for next season. Everything you eat, everything that grows, will come from our labs. And when the last natural seed is gone, that's when it gets fun. We can make them rare, expensive, maybe even licensed. Only billionaires that will have gardens, and everyone else will have to subscribe to eat. Sounds insane, right? But it's already happening. Seedless isn't convenience, it's containment. Every time you pick up a seedless fruit, you're holding a future that can't reproduce. So yeah, expect more seedless, everything. Because the easiest way to control the world is to stop it from growing. So remember to stay safe out there. We are slow.
So, easiest way to control the world. Make everything something that you have to lease from those with money. All right, and here's where comes the polymarkets in that equation.
I propose putting an end to anonymity on social media.
You do not even have to have elections anymore, because you can already predict, and afterwards you can say, why do we need elections?
Why do we need elections? You don't even need elections anymore. You can predict. And they're just saying it right out loud, y'all. But who is sitting there and taking notes? We are.
Because we know what the result will be.
What we are very proud of now is the young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, President of Argentina, and so on, that we penetrate the cabinets.
People eat too much meat.
They penetrate the cabinets in Argentina. Could that be a parachute plan for some folks here that are hedging their bets?
There's this thing called the Lone Star tick, where if it bites you, you'll become allergic to meat. That's something that we can do through human engineering.
Why you want to own a cell phone if you can just lease it? And if you lease, why shouldn't you lease your refrigerator or your washing machine or your dishwasher? Or why do you want to own it?
Now imagine the situation.
So they want us to allow the poly markets and betting to control the democratic process. Is that what we signed up for? It's not what I signed up for when I signed up and swore an oath to the U.S. Constitution. Pretty sure plenty of people right here in Hardin County swore that same oath. I know they did because we have so many vets here. So are we willing to say that oath that we stood up for meant nothing and that Constitution means nothing? I'm not willing to say that. So again, here's where I land. As a corpsman, as a teacher, and as a man asking the people of Hardin County to trust me with their business. A prediction market is not a profit. It is not clairvoyant. It's a room full of gamblers, and gamblers are wrong all the time. On Brexit, on a city council seat in Los Angeles, California, on the things they're most sure of. A price is a bet. It is not a ballot. The only thing that decides an American election is American voters, not Kalshi, not Polymarket, not the smart money, and not a celebrity or a president waving last night's odds like a search warrant. When the market and the people disagree, the people must win, because the people are the only ones who were actually voting. That is the rule of law. That is the equal choice the Constitution guarantees every single citizen, regardless of who they are or what they can afford. And defending it is exactly the oath that I took and the oath I never set down. Bet your own money if you want to. Lose if you want. But the moment anyone uses that bet to overturn the will of the people who showed up and cast a ballot, that is not forecasting. That is an attack on the Republic. And I'll stand a watch against it again every single day. Y'all, this has been the Hillbilly Think Tank. This has been the Long Odds. The market is not a profit, and your vote is not for sale. We know, united we stand, divided we fall. Y'all, we cannot allow ourselves to be divided, because we've got to love our neighbors as ourselves. Y'all remember everyone deployed overseas? Bless your corazón, which is Spanish for heart. And so, Joe, if you just haven't been listening because you've been tuned out, yeah, I already said I'm a hospital corpsman. I'm retired Fleet Marine Force hospital corpsman there, buddy. So you can go on back to the motor pool in the kitchen yourself. Have a great one. And it is Doc now out.
Standing for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Built upon the shoulders of the Constitution, rule of law, and the animating principle that we are all created equal. to hear a hallelujah. Though I'm not considered a believer by some, I still believe in the warmth of heaven come. I need the rapture I feel when my feet touch the green, green grass of home. Then I know I have reached the valley of kingdom come. And when I reach that valley, I need to see you there, because we don't need a kingdom, we only need free air. And we don't seek a king, we seek the brotherhood of man. And we won't fight for bondage, as we need no king or woman. We will stand undivided, because we will raise the fallen. Now I need to hear a hallelujah as we tear down the wall there. The divide between heaven and earth, as tears turn to mirth, as we walk through the valley of death, and I draw my last breath. I know rapture I feel when I touch the green, green grass of home. Then I know I've reached the hollow where my ancestors roam. Standing for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Built upon the shoulders of the Constitution, rule of law, and the animating principle that we are all created equal. I need to hear a hallelujah, though I'm not considered a believer by some, I still believe in the warmth of heaven come. I need the rapture I feel when my feet touch the green, green grass of home. Then I know I have reached the valley of kingdom come. And when I reach that valley, I need to see you there, because we don't need a kingdom, we only need free air. draw my last breath. I know rapture I feel when I touch the green, green grass of home. Then I know I've reached the hollow where my ancestors roam. Standing for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Built upon the shoulders of the Constitution, rule of law, and the animating principle that we are all created equal.